3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name's Ash. Here's today's comic. We're going to talk about Batman and the Outsiders #4. With me, as always, is Stan the Man, living legend. If you don't know who Stan the Man is, can't talk about it right now. This is too long. And then Forky. Forky's resident intern, mascot of the channel. He's our expert on all things trash. We've given him a promotion. He's a trash expert. That's a dog going out the doggy door. Stan, of course, is the expert on all things great. In Stan we trust. Hashtag what would Stan do? And today I got some Wendy's. Someone was telling me I would do my In-N-Out every week on my Wednesday show. And they were like, oh, Wendy's is the best. So I was like, I don't know. You must have never had In-N-Out before, because Wendy's is all okay for fast food, but yeah. So the reason I got this, right? Gosh, why not just get In-N-Out then? That's a good question. Because it's cheap. This is the double stack burger. Get it for like $2, just $2 something, and then the mobile. I use the mobile app and you get a free spicy nuggets, and I'm addicted to these freaking spicy nuggets. So, cheap lunch, that's why. But you didn't come here to look at burgers. That's a Wednesday thing. This is Batman and the Outsiders. I'm going to read it. I haven't read it yet. And then I'm going to film sort of my reaction, talk about the book, like we would as comic fans, like if we were together. Unfortunately, you can't respond to me because it's only a one-way communication, but we'll make the best of it. And you can respond in the comments, and you can come on the Discord channel and come talk to us there. I'm going to look into this book, and I'll see you soon. Real soon, I promise. Don't tune away. All right, and we're back. See, that wasn't long, right? Are you still here? Come on. No. Get your hand away from that mount. I don't even know what I'm saying here. Look at Batman, the Man Who Laughs, just finished, and you can already get the graphic novel. So they're making it really easy to trade weight, which I think is kind of silly because that just makes more people trade weight. It's like movies coming out on DVD, right, and stuff. Like it used to be, you had to wait a year, sometimes 2 years for a movie to come out on VHS, and now with DVD, shorten that up. Nowadays, like movies will still be in theaters and they're already on DVD. Actually, they come on digital even first before then. So if you're a digital person, yeah, like the movie's still playing in some theaters and you're like, oh, look, I can get it on digital, because you just wait like 2 months. And it makes a lot of people go, I don't need to go to the theater to see this. I can just wait a little bit of time. It's kind of the same way with comics now. It's like, I don't need to buy. When the series is over, the trade will be out, and I can just get it all at once and binge it, which is a lot of what people do anyway. I did this. I haven't read Batman Who Laughs yet. I bought them all. I could have just bought this. You didn't come here for that. It is a simple thing, conscience, easily shattered by purpose. Conscience is a vanity. Purpose makes us humble. Purpose reminds us that our emotions mean nothing. Wrap yourself in purpose, child. Wear it like a blanket. My purpose projects me from doubt. Protects me from doubt. I am the demon here to protect the world. And you are the demon's flame. You are no longer Sophia Ramos. Identity is action. You have been reborn by my wisdom. And with violence, you shall earn a name. DC Comics proudly presents Batman and the Outsiders, Lesser Gods, Part 4, brought to you by these people, Bryan Hill, Dexter Soy, and all these other people. Look at all these editors. That's a lot of people involved in this. So I'm going to be honest with you. After issue 3, Batman and the Outsiders has kind of gone on the chopping block for me. I really like Bryan Hill. I think he's a fantastic guy on social media. He interacts with fans great. He's very positive. He's always tweeting out interesting things and stories. He doesn't let the irate fans get him down. And he talks positively to them, which I believe can win them over. There's a lot of people who've jumped on the Bryan Hill bandwagon to be like, yes, this is the kind of pro that we want in comics. And I'm one of them. I discovered him because of his attitudes. That's what got me to buy his Detective Comics run. I was like, this Bryan Hill guy seems great. I've never read any of his stuff. So I just tweeted him, hey, Bryan, what are things that you've done? And he tweeted out some different things. And I was like, no, those sound really interesting to me. And then he's like, but I'm going to be doing a Detective Comics run soon. And I was like, oh, okay, I like Batman. Okay. So I was sure. I waited. I picked up that run, and I really liked it. Particularly the latter half of the run when he got a better artist on, it really made his writing shine through. But this book, which is sort of a sequel to that Detective Comics run, that Detective Comics run is the formation of the Batman the Outsider. So if you're a fan of Batman the Outsiders, you really should go and collect that arc. It's like 5 issues. It's the formation of this. Ra's al Ghul is one of my favorite villains. But this story, it's not that it's bad. I don't read this and go, screw this is junk. It just feels really average. And it feels very simple. That's kind of my problem with the story. Here we see, okay, creating the villain. Okay, great. Now we see Duke is playing some b-ball, and Cash shows up, Cassandra Cain, and she's talking to him about helping him because he's been benched by Batman, or so because of what happened in the previous issues. I can help you. Da 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 da. He's like, I don't know if I want to be helped, and he did the whole pride thing. She's like, well, we're friends. So, the normal, just take care of each other. And then it's 2 pages of that. Then we get 2 pages of cut over to Black Lightning and this new guy, Caliber. And of course, because it's comics, I don't like guns. You seem to have a fascination, Caliber. You don't make money in Markovia selling books. You're just a sorry, I can't even read. They're just a tool, school teacher. Best not to make them more than that. I did appreciate that dialogue, though. I did appreciate that the character was anti-gun, but then at the same time, you had another character that's just like, dude, they're a tool. It's whoever pulls the trigger, which is kind of both sides of the real-life argument about guns, right? And I thought that was really fair. That's how you do things in comics, right? I don't know which argument Bryan Hill's is. Maybe it's Black Lightning's. I don't know. But he didn't just preach to the reader, guns are bad, guns bad. He just had a character had one thought, another character had another thought, and then let you as the reader just decide what you think without preaching to you and moving on with the story. So I really did appreciate that. Black Lightning gets a little bit annoyed, but it's best for you to pay attention to what I have to say. Batman thinks you're worth a second chance. All I see is an arm dealer between gigs. Oh, I get it. This is my team speech. I don't want the throne, Jefferson. And what do you want? You ever done something you're not proud of? Sure. Well, I am not something I'm proud of. I'm black market tech, stitched into the flesh that can't take it, and I've got blood on my hands. There's a story behind why Batman gave me that second chance, but you don't have to hear it. What you do have to hear is, until I make a mistake, I don't have a damn thing to prove to you. We don't have to be friends, boss. We're saving a kid. So, I want to tell you right now, what I love about this book is that it's so refreshingly masculine. Oh my God, Ash, you just said the M word. Yes, I know. So I need to derail here for a minute. Comics are for boys. Oh my God, you just offended my sensibilities. Okay, that doesn't mean comics have to be for boys, or that all comics are for boys, or that girls can't enjoy comics, or that there can't be comics just for girls. I don't mean any of that. What I mean by comics are for boys is historically, when comics were first created, that was the target audience. They didn't care. They weren't trying to exclude girls. I'm sure they were more than happy to get everyone they could get to read comics. In fact, you can see throughout history, especially in the earlier days of all these girl comics, right? Like when they do Superman would have his adventures, and then they have the comic that was Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. And I assure you, even though maybe some boys read that comic because they like Superman, that was a comic targeting the girls. Like, oh, look, I could read Superman. I could be Superman's girlfriend. That's fine. There was attempts to try to get them, but majority of comics were for boys. They understood that this was a boys thing, and boys gravitated towards it. Part of that reason is because boys, biologically, this is science, are more visual than girls. And boys, you can see this in society, psychological studies, I'm sure there's probably sociological studies too, but boys don't read on the level that girls do. Girls much more enjoy reading. They also enjoy writing and things like that. Boys do as well. Obviously, there's authors, boy authors, and there's guys that just chew through books, whatever. There's always exceptions to the rules, and there's no hard and fast thing. These are just trends. But boys tend to appreciate visuals more. This is why movies, the big budget movies, tend to appeal towards men. It used to be the big money crowd was the 18 to 35 male market. That's just the way that it is. Obviously, women like movies too and things like that, but they enjoy a different kind of movie that doesn't rely on strong visuals, just enough to tell the story. Men want the big special effects. They want the action scenes. They want to be visually amazed, the spectacle. Comic books, guys don't want to read just walls of text typically, but they can appreciate the visual. They can appreciate, oh yeah, look how cool Black Lightning looks right here with the lightning going around his hand and stuff. Like, these are things that guys will stop and look at and appreciate. Look at this badass look that Calibur's giving him, and this you're talking. Girls, on average, more typically, will just read the text, blast past this, because they don't think visually in the same terms. And that's completely fine. That's great. It's not a negative. It's not disparaging towards women or anything. It's just identifying that a medium was created to satisfy a need. And since comics were created by men understood what men wanted. So they created comics that are like, what would I like? What would I like as a kid? What were the things? And so they naturally created things that they understood, right? But fast forward to today with the whole social agenda and everything like that, it's become a whole different environment. Now you've got a lot of white knights in comics. You got these guys that are just trying to appeal or appease, those who are trying to push social agendas, the ones that are like, women need to be empowered, and we need to show the world that women are every bit as good as men and can do whatever a man can do, and usually better, and things like that. And so they're writing these comics, and in a misguided attempt to try to prop up women, what they end up doing is they destroy men. Because they don't really know how to elevate women. What they do is just know how to bring down men, and then women are at the same level. But Ash, you just said that they're not. Yeah, yes, men and women are equal, but they're different, right? Men have different strengths. Women have different strengths. There are things that are strong about women that typically you just don't find in men. But what they're trying to do is write women to still have all the strengths that women have, but then also have everything that the men do too. They're all encompassing. They don't need men. They're woman and man all in one, and men are just men and don't have the good traits that women do. Whatever, you understand if you've been following the culture war. So these white knights tend to write a lot of these really feminist type books, constantly talking about how women are better at everything. Then you get the women in comic books that are all doing the same thing. You read things like West Coast Avengers, where Kate Bishop is leading the team, where she's Hawkeye, I'm Hawkeye, and she's got actual Hawkeye on the team with her, who led the original West Coast Avengers, is like an OG Avenger himself, and he just takes a back seat to this girl who was bored. She's a rich girl that was bored, so she took self-defense classes, and apparently, rich girls who take self-defense classes become Avengers. Not just any Avengers that lead the Avengers. And the guys who are the experts and have been doing this their whole life and are true superheroes have to take a back seat because that's what. So when a guy reads this, you're just like, this is stupid. No guy wants to read about a book where a man is emasculated and just has to lie down and show his belly all the time. That's not appealing to men, right? Now, if that makes you feel empowered as a woman, so be it. Have your books or whatever, but understand that, guys, that's ugly, it's not attractive, and it's not entertaining. It's just like, oh, I don't want to be that. What guys want to read is stuff like this, with kick-ass heroes who talk like men, and you may not understand it. If you're a woman listening to this, or if you're a beta male listening, you may not understand this, and I'm sorry that if you don't, but at least appreciate that there's other people out there besides you that don't have your outlook on life. And, these things for 80 years were always for those people, and it got taken away. And I went off on a way huge tangent on this. But honestly, that's the big strength of this book. Bryan Hill is writing guys' comics. Here we see Katana, and she's meditating, and she's having this sort of dreamlike state because she's meditating, and her husband, who's dead, but his soul lives in her sword, something's happening, and she's trying to reach him, and she can't, and then she wakes up, and it's like she's distraught. And then we see Black Lightning come to the boat where Bruce Wayne's having a party, and this is cool. You don't often see this anymore these days of, the dilettante Bruce Wayne trying to keep up appearances. I also appreciate that Bryan Hill remembers these things, and he's really good, I think, with Batman. I just don't, these other characters I don't really care about, and I'm not sure Brian's very inspired with him. The main thing that's getting me is I'm having a hard time liking Black Lightning. He's constantly challenging Bruce. Constantly. I don't trust Bruce. I don't know. It's like, dude, this is one of the main dudes of the Justice League. How many times has he saved the world? Like, yes, he operates in like weird, mysterious ways. What reasons do you have to mistrust Bruce Wayne? I just, it's kind of wearing thin. Maybe they have personality bickers. Sometimes they're different people. They come from different sides of the tracks. That's fine. But this whole, I'm not sure what Bruce is doing, and I don't take orders from Bruce, and I'm not his lapdog. It's like, dude, seriously? Seriously, like that pride is really bothering me. I look at not Duke Thomas. I look at Jefferson here, and I'm like, Bruce just put you up at the penthouse. The guy's a billionaire. You could pretty much just quit teaching and become a superhero full time. Which, yes, maybe I understand you have a passion for being a teacher or whatever, but the reason you superhero on the side and make no money at it is because that is your real passion, right? No one, if you could do that just on the side and you do it for free, but someone would pay you super well to do it, I think anyone would jump at the chance. They wouldn't just be like, nope, I want to be a teacher salary and have a day job the rest of my life. Like, no, you would do the opposite. I'll be a superhero full time, and I'll teach part time at, orphanages or things like that where I can make a difference with kids once in a while on my free time. But now I can be a superhero full time, make better money, make a bigger difference in the world. These are all things that really I struggle with, and especially his attitude about it. So we get that. But there's some fun dialogue here. Bruce, you're just a man. Men have their demons. Usually they're not people who actually call themselves demons. One day we'll have to have a conversation about clowns. And you get to see Bruce smiling in a rare event. And I thought that was really cool. Bryan Hill excels at these little moments of dialogue, especially where Bruce Wayne's involved. I feel like Bryan is a big fan of Batman. He knows Batman, and he's able to channel that and write him in such a way that it's very appealing. I like it. But the problem is this book constantly gets away from Batman, and it's like, Duke Thomas, hate this character. I seriously want this character to die. He's whiny, but he's also kind of bitchy, and he's also got a chip on his shoulder. And I can do it. No. It's like, dude, no, you can't. No, you shouldn't be able. You shouldn't be anywhere around this. You went through the whole, 6-month Batman training online course. It just, his character makes no sense to me. It's this forced character that shouldn't exist. He was done really well in Batman the White Knight, the first one. Sean Gordon Murphy reimagined this character into something awesome that I liked. And I think DC should go with that. So anyways, back to the Ra's al Ghul. This book's kind of back and forth, and these characters and all their interactions with each other. I know what Bryan's trying to do, but I'm just not invested. That's the problem. I feel like maybe the right way to do things, instead of just trying to take us through this, 4 issues of comics where these characters are interacting with each other and having the interpersonal connections, just focus on like 1 or 2 right away, and just let the others just be on the sidelines, and give us a whole arc where it's like Katana helping Duke or something, or whatever, and that's it. So we can really get, and once now we've invested in those characters, we'll do the next arc and put another character on. By bouncing around all these other characters, I haven't invested in any of them. I'm not getting enough time. You're spreading itself too thin, and the story is taking a back seat. Now we're 4 issues in. Ra's al Ghul is still training this girl. And she's becoming this living weapon. And Ra's al Ghul knows that Batman's coming for him. He's going to be bringing the outsiders, and we're going to be ready, and we're going to kill them all. And the plot so far seems really, really basic. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a good thing. It's just, okay, it's average. It's fine. If you like this, if you're invested in the outsiders, if you're a big fan of Dexter Soy's art, then you're probably going to really like this book. Like I said, it doesn't do things necessarily wrong. It just sort of does it fine. And my problem is I'm already overburdened with books. I am buying too many books. And this one, every week I'm just like, oh, I'm just not that interested. I just notice it. I'm like, oh, Silver Surfer Black, can't wait to read that. Oh, Last Night on Earth, can't wait to read that. But this book doesn't pull me. And I'm like, why am I buying books that just sit and collect dust? And the only reason I'm reading it is because I do reviews on it. So this has been a really long one. As you can see, the plot, super straightforward. It ends with, but they will find Babylon. You will teach them your name, and then you will kill them all. Dun, dun, dun! Next, students and soldiers. This is basic comics. This is something you would have found probably in the 80s. Basic storyline. This is probably something Zach would love. I'm not a fan of Dexter Soy's art, but that's purely subjective. You can see for yourself, if it's something that appeals to you or not. You don't need my opinion on it. I'm just telling you just for the sake of conversation. And that may be detracting from me a lot. So it is what it is. This is about a 3-star book, which again is fine. But given the fact that I have to make hard cuts, this one might not make the team. So we'll see. I'm going to at least see this arc out, which probably is like 6 issues. And we'll see where we go from there. I hope you are enjoying it, though. I like Bryan Hill a lot. I wanted him to succeed. And he definitely deserves fans. He's the type of professional we want in comics. So if you like it, awesome. If I'm missing something in this book, if you think, hey, Ash, I just don't think you're appreciating these things that I appreciate, tell me down below. Tell me whatever you want in the comments. But like and subscribe if you could. That does me a lot. If you want to thumb down the video for whatever reason, obviously that's purely your prerogative, but tell me why. so that I know, like, tell me how I can improve. Tell me how I can earn your thumbs up. I would appreciate that. So thanks for watching again. This is Stan saying goodbye, and Forky. Forky certifies this is not trash. Thanks for watching.